What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another day in the Brew Lab. I need to maybe adjust my intro because it is always going to be a night in the Brew Lab, at least while I'm in this time zone. Welcome back to another night, late night, almost 2 a.m. in the Brew Lab. Tonight in the Brew Lab, I'm coming at ya with Rogues. Rogues? Really? Lone Fox is playing Rogues? Is he feeling okay? Yes, Rogues, Dimir Rogues in Standard 2022. Is it still a thing? Is it any good at all? Rogues in current Standard is an absolute thing, incredibly good, but post-rotation they are losing. Into the story, Thieves Guild Enforcer, Lurus the Companion, Drown in the Lock. The number of good and important pivotal cards that Dimir Rogues is losing post-rotation it's probably the deck that's taking the biggest hit when rotation comes around in September, out of all the decks, in my opinion. And so is it still a thing? Is it still any good at all? How has it changed? How will it look post-rotation? I think this list that I've put together is something towards that. And this is continuing down this path that I've been on for the last 4 or 5 streams now, where I'm trying to find a new deck, something that is still good, competitive, and still rotation proof and worthy of your wild cards mostly. I hope to convince you by the end of this video that this is one such brew. And the pivotal card has now become Rogue class. I mean, they even made a class that's all about rogues. Okay, that is probably to do with the fact that it is one of the main party members in a Dungeons and Dragons party, but it fits the rogue theme, and that is for show. Okay, so rogue class is one of the rare classes. There was a few that are uncommon, but this is one of the ones that were given the rare badge or the rare logo. It is as if I don't know. It just fits this deck very, very well. Something to note is that it might even be better with cards that aren't rogues. We'll see why in a moment, but basically it is one of these classes, like all the other classes, that have 3 levels, and it already has a static ability the moment you put it into play. It costs 1 blue, 1 black, so it is already in the Dimir color pie thing, and as soon as it comes into play, whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, you exile the top card of that player's library face down, but we can see it, they cannot, which is very annoying, trust me, because I've been on the receiving end of this effect. Your cards just go straight off of your library underneath the rogue class, and the person you're playing against can see what those cards are, but you cannot, which is very, very annoying. So far pretty good actually, because it's essentially like milling every time you attack and get through. So how do we ensure that continues to happen? Because by turn 3 your opponent is going to have some blockers up. So level 2 of rogue class gives all your creatures menace, which is incredibly good actually, if you think about that. All your creatures have menace, as long as this enchantment class is on the field. But it's at level 3 when things start to get crazy, because all of these things, excuse them, very loud motorbike in the distance, When you get to level 3, you may play the cards exiled with rogue class, and you may spend mana as though it was mana of any color to cast those spells. So suddenly, things start to get really crazy. Every time you attack and get through for damage with your menace creatures, you exile the top card of their library, and then you can cast that card. Things start to get crazy really quickly. So what are the supporting cards, at least in the brew that I've come up with, that are going to help us get to level 3 reliably and start using the opponent's deck against them? Well, namely Zareth San. I feel like the better build of rogues that came about at the end of the previous standard was the Lurrus version with only 1 and 2 drops, because of the recurring ability of the rogues with Lurrus as your companion. So Zareth San didn't see as much play as people maybe initially thought would have seen, because it doesn't go in a Lurrus deck, and so it fell off to the wayside. But it was one of the really good Dimir Rogues that came out in Zendikar Rising that people really thought would make an impact, and then in the end just didn't see that much play. Soaring Thought-Thief was definitely the much more played card in that format. Now that we've lost a lot of the better rogues from that deck, namely, like I said, Thieves Guild Enforcer, Zareth San is back in action, and we're about to find out whether it's any good or not. So I'm just going to do my usual. I'm going to run through the deck from left to right, describe the cards, and then try to describe along the way some of the play lines and interactions that you might come across along the way, and what is our win con, and how we're going to get there. So we've got some flash guys. Flash is good in Dimir and rogues in general tend to have a very flash. There's a lot of flash cards in that archetype, and I'm not very good at playing this type of deck. I haven't played, because I hated rogues so much with their turn 1 Rune Crab, turn 2 Fabled Passage into Thieves Guild Enforcer, that sort of stuff. I hated it so much that I would never have played it to put my opponent through something as hateful as all that. But so I didn't get a lot of practice playing Flash. But Flash is means that you may cast a spell with Flash at any time you could cast an instant. So if you're going to play a Flash card, most of the time it is during your opponent's turn, so that you can untap and begin your turn with cards that do not any longer have summoning sickness, which is great. So of those Flash cards, we have 3 copies of Zulaport Duelist. Flash, 1 blue mana for a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature gets -2/-0 until end of turn. Its controller mills 2 cards. So it's, if there's a creature that's unblockable because its strength is higher than your blocker, you can flash this in and reduce the creature that you're trying to block's strength down enough to the point where you can then block it with one of your creatures. And Soaring Thought-Thief does have a 3 toughness, so this can, because it's a 1/2, turn 1, turn 2 sort of a little thing going on there, both of them with Flash, by the way, that oftentimes means that you can block a much bigger creature than you would normally be able to with something as relatively low toughness as the Soaring Thought-Thief. So pretty cool. And of course you milling, which is something that is pretty important in this deck, because, and we'll get there in a moment. It's definitely less important than it is in the previous rogue deck. We don't have any of those cards that say, when there is 8 cards in the opponent's graveyard, then this and this thing happens. We're not doing any of that stuff tonight. But still, the more cards are in the graveyard, the more cards Zareth San can steal later in the game. So pretty cool. And also, the bigger strength the Nighthawk Scavenger gets, because Nighthawk Scavenger says that its power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyard. So you want to be putting stuff in there. Anyway, next up, another new card from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Krydle of Baldur's Gate. Baldur. Krydle of Baldur's Gate. I put it in three copies because it's it's legendary. We don't want too many 2-drop legendaries. We might end up drawing more than one of them in your opening hand, and then it just sits there. So 3 of is, I think, the right number for most legendary creatures in most decks. And it's a human elf rogue, so still a rogue, but it's one of these like hybrids with it. It's the first time I think that I've seen a human and elf, and there's a lot of them in AFR. So when Krydle of Baldur's Gate deals combat damage to a player, that player loses 1 life and mills a card. Then you gain 1 life and scry 1. It's a lot of good things that happen when you do get through for damage. And you say to yourself, well, when are you going to get through for damage with a 1/3? Not often, right? But whenever you attack, you may pay 2 colorless, and if you do, target creature can't be blocked this turn. So you can, of course, target yourself and get through for the damage over and over again. But that isn't the end of it. Where else, do we want things not to be blocked? Because the times when Zareth San was good was because we had mostly flying rogues, which means that they were not getting blocked a lot of the times. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten the name of the card now. The Adventure Rogue. How many times did we play that rogue in previous standard? And now I've completely forgotten the name. Nope. No S on the end. Here we go. Brazen Borrower was one of the main ones for this, because what happens with Zareth San is this. Whenever Zareth San, return, so you pay 4 at instant speed. Whenever you return an unblocked attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. So it has to be unblocked. And if you could return, oh my goodness, again I'm forgetting the name. I just checked it. Come on, Lone Fox, you've got this. Oh, the Adventure one. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you know the one I mean. We just looked at it. You could return it to your hand and then use the adventure side again to bounce something. But in this case, we don't have as many flyers. Krydle isn't a flyer. Zulaport Duelist is not a flyer. We've only got Soaring Thought-Thief and Nighthawk Scavenger as flying rogues. So if you can make your creature unblockable by paying 2 colorless, and that means that then you can use the Zareth San ability, that's pretty good. Although that ends up costing you 6 total during the blocking phase of the attack step, and that isn't as often going to happen as just you being able to do it with a flyer. So that's kind of still the main way that we're going to be getting Zareth San in, either with Nighthawk Scavenger or the Soaring Thought-Thief. But anyway, next up we've got the Rogue class, which I've already talked about at the beginning of the video. No need to repeat myself, but yeah, that's kind of the card that we're showcasing tonight, and the card that I really want to get to work. And rogues steal stuff. So Zareth San, the Trickster, he's stealing, and so is Rogue class. And what I really hope to obtain by the end of this stream is a really juicy Rogue class where we've gotten it to level 3 by turn 5, turn 6, and there's lots of cards underneath it, and then we start casting spells off of the from the opponent's deck and get them to scoop that way. Soaring Thought-Thief, crucial sort of signpost, uncommon from Zendikar Rising. Flying, flash, 1/3, Dimir colors. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, all your rogues get +1/+0. So that ability can stack because it is not legendary. So if you have multiple Soaring Thought-Thieves, it becomes +2/+0, +3/+0, up until a maximum of +4/+0 if you have all 4 of them in play. And whenever 1 or more rogues you control attack, each opponent mills 2 cards. So another way of getting things into the opponent's graveyard so that we can steal them with Zareth San, which is the entire point of the deck. So now what has the Rogues lost that is very important? Card draw. Like the most important card I think that they've lost is Into the Story, which was restocking your hand somewhere in the mid game so that you could continue to have threats, counter spells, removal into the late game. So what have I put into the deck to sort of fix that problem? We've been given this new guy, which isn't a rogue, but still kind of fits the theme because of Flash. Grazilaxx, the Illithid Scholar. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. So if they block your Soaring Thought-Thief, if they block your Zulaport Duelist, if they block your Zareth San, it can be brought back to your hand so you don't lose it, and then flashed back in straight away, which is cool. But the real reason why it's in here is the second ability. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Unfortunately, it's not whenever one of your creatures deals combat damages, one or more. Similar to Soaring Thought-Thief, whenever one or more rogues you control. So, unfortunately, if you do get through for damage with more than one creature, you're not going to be drawing a card for each creature like Toski. You're only drawing one card, but that is still really, really good. Every single turn, you not only draw for your draw step, but you also get to draw whenever you attack with your creatures, and because they all have menace due to Rogue's class, you're very often going to be drawing at least one extra card every single turn, and that is incredibly useful in this deck. So an obvious 3 of, unfortunately it's legendary, we cannot have multiple copies on the deck, but sorry, on the field, but that's okay. Then rogue decks, they need to play some counter spells. There used to be a lot more of them in the previous variant of rogues that were playable. I feel like, I don't know, I mean, this is my first version of this brew. We're going to be doing the usual BrewLab style thing and adjusting the numbers, putting in a few, taking down a few. We'll see by the end of the video. As usual, I will be uploading the most current version and the one that I end up playing with at the end of the clip onto either hub and into the video description down below. So we'll have to see whether 3 Sword Comings is enough in a rogue deck. We might want to put more counter spells and a little bit less removal. Maybe Crippling Fear isn't the the 4 of that we need in here. We might rather have, or do we want? Actually, I think we could probably just do that right away. I think at least 4 counter spells in a rogue deck is the way to go. At least. Unfortunately, there's just no space and wiggle room to put any more in here. But it is one of the best counter spells in the format. I've got to speak a little softer because my little boy is waking up. Next up, we've got 3 copies of Soul Shatter to get rid of those pesky gold spam dragons. And we're running 4 copies of Poison the Cup as well, which is really good. I think the main reason why I'm running this card is for Faceless Haven. Because, yeah, Faceless Haven is really, really good. Actually, I think now that I'm looking at the deck, we might as well just put Faceless Haven in here anyway, because we do have some snow mana. There's no other payoff for running the Ice Tunnel. We might as well just do that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one was the one with the most black? So we still want that to be the one with the most, because yeah, there are more black spells in the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we put in the Faceless Haven. I think it's just good anyway in any deck. And what else? Nighthawk Scavenger, we've already talked about. The more cards in their graveyard, different types of cards in their graveyard, the bigger it gets. A little lifelink, little an evasive rogue that we can flash Zareth San in on top of and do the whole Zareth San thing, but also just life gain on a death touch flyer. This card is incredibly good, so an absolute obvious 4 of. More removal. Also, this is a tribal deck, so Crippling Fear just makes perfect sense. You can always just declare rogues and sweep the field for 3 in the current meta with all the mono green, mono white, small little creatures decks by turn 4. If you can sweep the field for 3, that's usually a very good thing to do in this format. So an obvious inclusion in any tribal deck that plays black. You should definitely be playing Crippling Fear. And then Zareth San at the top end for 5 mana, legendary Merfolk Rogue with Flash again, which we've already talked about. So that's the deck. Nothing too crazy. Let's see if it's gonna do the roguey thing and jump into a couple of games. If I could ask you guys and ladies, gals and girls, guys and gals, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, to consider subscribing to the channel if you have not done so already. It would really help me out a lot. Oh, as you saw there, I've been playing black aggro in standard ranked a lot today. It's been doing the thing. I've made a few adjustments to the deck. More on that in a future video. But yeah, let's play unranked for now. Yeah, if you could consider subscribing to the channel, that would be very, very helpful, of course. And like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, all of that good stuff, and I would be oh so very happy. Right, we're playing against Azrael Silverblade with a horrible opening hand. Mulligan time. Not that much better, to be honest, but hey. H2O. Looking like Prismari Dragons. Oh, yeah, definitely. Foretell the Poison Cup, that's our best play. Unfortunately, we don't have a blue source. Lost my lid. Yeah, Prismari Dragons with a twist. He's trying to get some dragons out so he can get the cost reduction on the boast. I get so mana screwed. It's crazy how often this happens to me. We're on 2, the opponent's got 5. It's just ridiculous. It happens way too often. Nice, nice. That's scary. That's dragon. That's Draconic Intervention. When Prismari Dragons deck play this type of stuff, it's because they've also got Draconic Intervention. So let's play something that we have more than one of, in the form of Krydle. Here comes Goldspan. Are you ready? Even worse. Yeah, we need to get up a Death Touch blocker for this guy. He's already gone and put, 3 different types of things in his graveyard for us. It's really unfortunate that it... Oh, here comes a fire... What's it called? Flame. Okay. We'll take the land. Unfortunately, it's a tapped land, but we can just play probably the rogue class next. Here comes removal on the Nighthawk Scavenger. Told you. What did I tell you guys? That's a GG if I ever saw it. Down to 3. Ow. That's a GG. That is an absolute GG. Prismari Dragons doing its thing. counter spell, game over. Oh, okay. Not like it's making me feel any better about myself. We still have to block this guy, or we might even have some target removal. Nope. I need some, that's not gonna do it. Good game. On to the next one. Oh, my goodness. A lot of... You know what I always forget to do, guys? I'm so sorry. I only just caught all your comments. There's a little, like, drop-down thing in the... when you stream, and it either shows you the top comments or the live comments. And here I am. Get 'em, bud. Hey, good evening, Moonwatcher, Edwin, Billy. Good to have you guys. Thank you so much for jumping on the stream. Rogues kind of suck right now. I agree. But, you know, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Enforcer into the story. Drowning the Loch Lurus. Exactly. And only one of those is a rogue. Hey, guys. Sorry, I only just caught your comments now. It's a good card that the Berserker. What's his name again? Yeah, what's his name again? Anyway, the Dragonkin Berserker. It was just never played because we had Bone Crusher Giant in the meta and it's got 2 toughness, but it might see a little bit of play now, a little bit more play, especially with all the dragon decks. How are you guys doing? Is it Skyrim? I thought it was Dragonkin. Yeah, exactly. I think Rakdos Berserkers is another list that I'm looking into, Moonwatcher. It's actually pretty sweet. And that Saga Cardus something, the 4-mana one that brings something back from your graveyard with haste and a +1/+1 counter is good. It's a good saga. We might have to do that tomorrow night. Oh, skint on lands every turn, but whatever. It's unranked. We're testing things. Let's give it a try. Can flash in the Duelist. Oh. There we go again. Just flash him in now. I won't block. Lands, please, deck. Lands, please. Crippling Fear would be so good right now. Prosperous Innkeeper. And some of these like cards are really like... Come on, mate. Man, just want some lands, you know? Opponent's got... we fucked again. It's just ridiculous how many times this happens to me. Yeah. We're already screwed. Just ridiculous. Fuck this. Just ridiculous. There's 25 lands in the deck, by the way, guys. Like, come on, shuffler. Stop being an asshole. Give me some lands. I want to showcase the deck properly. Got some grappa tonight. Italian grappa. Aged grappa. That was good. Another 2-mana hand. Let's mulligan this one. Woo! There we go. I'm okay to get rid of Crippling Fear. Maybe try and play Grazilaxx. Now we're gonna start flooding. Watch. Just my luck. Okay, Rakdos treasures. Gold span on the way. Need the dwarf 1/4. Even death. Maybe we can. We can't block and kill anything, but still can at least block. Bye bye, Even Death. Off you go. That's 3. Probably hold up a sword coming next turn. Sword coming and duelist. Yeah, let's get rid of you. Absolutely. Oh, good game. Why good game? Oh, come on, mate. Don't be such a sore loser. It's like the reputation of rogues that was built up in previous standard is such that people just, I mean, myself included, hate it so much that they just scoop it up. Red Mill? I have a deck that you would like. Show me those decks, boys. Put some dragons on top of the curve. I love the pests. Berserkers, 3 mana saga that draws and gives mana. Yeah, it's the, yeah. I love that card actually. I'm gonna do a Twitch session tomorrow afternoon, Italy time. Sleeping baby. Put my volume down a little bit. Please don't wake up. Please don't wake up. Rakdos treasures again. Can't believe that. What's with this land situation? A little bit better. A little bit better. Red Mill, huh? Send me the Red Mill deck, Edwin, please. Red Mill sounds interesting. What mills in red? Okay, mono green for sure. We're gonna take 4 next turn regardless, which is quite annoying. No, we don't really need that, do we? Are you play testing this in the play queue, mate? This is the best deck in the format, probably. So busted. So busted. I mean, we're quite rapidly discovering that rogues kind of suck. Non farlo, papà! Ti prego! Yeah, it's just wrong. Oh, God. What a charming fellow. Yeah. Good on you, mate. Get fucked. It's so good right now. It's so good right now, Moonwatcher. It's like... It's just ridiculous how good this deck is. What changes would you guys make? Should we go a little less heavy on the rogues and put in something else? Let's scan over. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's any good at all. Yeah, Billy. I feel ya. I have the same experience. What I mean, you know, what could we possibly do to make this any better? It's really, like, there's very little wiggle room. Unless you know, take out some rogues, but then, meh. Maybe get rid of Soul Shatter. I don't know, what would you, I don't know. Crippling Fear, maybe. Put in something else. Honestly, just feel like this deck is a little... It lost so many good cards, it's just not as good. Anyway, like the real reason why I wanted to try it was the rogue class. Yeah, Baldur's... I was just, you know, trying to play some of the new cards. Showcase some of the new cards, whether they're any good or not, but I also feel the same about Baldur. He's a bit of a meh, kind of random. Also, if we just keep drawing opening hands like this, how am I supposed to do anything? God freaking damn it. Unbelievable. Full tree. Elves. White? Abzan elves? Smart fellow. It is an elf after all. Doing some weird stuff. I like, you know, creativity like that. Ramping. This is like the new Cultivate, but it's just way worse. It's kind of Barliged recovery slash Cultivate. Remove one removal for the Mind Flayer. Steel creatures, rogue theme. Yeah, I agree. Imrith, Desert Tomb. Also could be good. What is this guy doing? Let's get another Nighthawk Scavenger. Why not? Could be our first win of the night. Weird brew, man. I kind of like it. You're trying to be creative, but probably a little lackluster. It's enough land now. Thanks, bro. Kind of almost wanted not to counter that so we could see what he would do next. Sorry, bro. We gotcha. Merfolk Windrobber. Instead of the Zulaport Duelist. Billy, it was my, I was either one or the other. I like the fact that this has flash and mills right away, but you could get some card draw off of the other guy. You might be right. Let's give that a try. And probably Crippling Fear, and put in. It's just as you were saying, Edwin, the Mind Flayer is on the same spot on the curve as Zareth San. I feel a bit weird about removing that. You know, just putting removal away and putting in that. But 20 creatures though. Get rid of Krydle. It's kind of rubbish. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. Maybe get rid of Soul Shatter. It's a tough one for sure. It's kind of crazy how similar these two guys are. Except this mills and this doesn't. Zulaport is just strictly better. Yeah. I'm not feeling it. Power of Persuasion. Alright. One more game. I'll check that out in a second, Edwin. Power of Persuasion. Is that an AFR card? From the new set? Man, how amped are we for some werewolves in September? I'm so fucking amped. So fucking amped for some werewolves. Holy crap. I'm really looking forward to that set. It's gonna be just my type, you know, my cup of tea. I have a feeling that is Doomscar. Okay, no, it's you know the one I mean. Let's get rid of the Righteous Valkyrie. No? Alright. Oh. Nice. Vanishing Verse. Oh, fuck my life. This is the deck that got me into Mythic. It's so good. Yeah, exactly. Innistrad, spoiler season starts so soon. I can't wait. I'm gonna start doing some, spoiler videos as usual. I have so much fun doing that stuff. What was that card you said? Power of Persuasion. Oh, yes. Instead of Soul Shatter? I don't know, Edwin. I feel like card draw might be better. Also, I still need to make a wizard spellbook deck. This looks fun. I don't know, Edwin. I don't know. The removal's good. Yeah, it does feel like the sets just keep coming thick and fast, but I mean, it is still an entire month away before we get the next set. It's today, well, it's already past midnight in Italy. So it's already the 17th, and the next set drops on the 16th of September on Arena. So still another whole month to go. But yeah, it does feel like just the other day we got AFR. Contact the other plane. Get a better way to you're getting that. watch, this video is gonna get so many views compared to my other videos, and so many people are gonna check it out on either hub, because you know, so many people love Rogues, but most people don't actually watch the whole video. By the end of it, I'm gonna be like, don't craft this deck, Rogues suck. And there'll still be a bunch of people that try it out. Oh dear God. What have I done to deserve a discard deck? Of all things. Okay, that's pretty nice. Nah. Left to discard, bitch. Biatch. Biatch. What an asshat. You charmer. Take it. That's kind of nice. Scry and then draw. It's just not very reliable at all. I know. I hate Rogues too. Okay. Oh, you asshole. Absolute piece of poop. Turgrid, eh? Yeah, good game. I guess. Okay. Alright, a couple more games to go before we can call it a night. I think we've gotten to the bottom of it. Rogues is kind of rubbish. I wouldn't craft this deck if I were any of you. If you've, if you've got any wild cards sitting around, save them for Innistrad. Wow, that crapper is good. It's really good. Panovatak. Nope, that's no good. Shuffle is just fine. I want to make a Orzhov deck tomorrow. Silver Quill Orzhov. One of the decks that has Snarls, good mana base. That's what I'm planning. I'm not forced to play Snow. Yeah, no, I'm not logging off, Edwin. I'm still got good energy. I fell asleep for a little bit next to my son, and Okay. Yeah, fuck it. You can get your card draw and 3 life. It's probably freaking angels again. No? Nice. Draw a card. Yeah, it's starting to feel like the Angels deck. Life gain. Yeah, it's enough freaking lands deck. Oh no. Interesting. Bye-bye. What's going on here? Weird stuff. Oh, Zareth San next turn. Forget I said anything. What's going on here? I'm gonna take that Kaya and use it for myself. 8/3 Scavenger. Ooh. That is nice. Oh, at least we get it back. Interesting deck, man. What is this guy trying to do here? Interesting deck. I quite like my Kaya. Right, there it is.
Don't worry. I got you. Job done right. Higher.
Sure.
Well, I guess I got another one too.
8/3 flying Death Touch lifelink. I like it. Billy, how could you do that? Come add me on Discord, I guess. That would be one way to do it. Oh, God. Blood on the snow. My most hated card from Standard 2022. This guy's just playing like sweeper tribal bullshit. I don't know what he's trying to do. What is going on here? A lot of treasure. Yeah, man. Discord, Billy, how can you find me? I'll send you the hashtag in a second. It's probably, yeah, this is my last match anyway. Yeah, Blood on the Snow. In the Lolth decks, it's like you can play Lolth on turn 3.
You'll be fine.
Blood on the Snow on turn 5, 4. So it's really, really good right now. If you would draw a card, exile that card your library face down instead. Draw 7. I'm not entirely sure what this guy's supposed to be doing. That's crazy! Paid. What a weird deck. What a weird deck. I like to see innovation, don't get me wrong. That is just whack. I would have leveled up your Warlock class if I were you, mate. You would have won. Very nice. Very nice. Weird control theme. Passion. Okay, I'm gonna add you now, Billy. Wish this was a rogue. Okay. Well, okay, whatever. Let's keep trying. Shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Oh, so stupid. Alright. That's going to be it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Rogues suck. I still hate them just as much as I did, and they just gotten a lot worse. So fuck rogues. Don't play rogues. Don't bother crafting them. Fuck rogues in the ass. Thank you so much for watching. Those of you who stick around to the end, you are some of my favorite people on the whole wide world. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow when we continue on this mission to try and find a new deck that's not one of the ones that everybody else is playing. Moonwatcher, peace out. Billy, Basham, Edwin, thank you guys. Your input is crucial, and yeah, I'll be coming back at you tomorrow night with some fresh brews, and until then, this is Lone Fox from the Brew Lab, signing out. Peace, y'all.